Alright, guys. We've got Liquid CLEM in the top left side of the map, SERRAL in the bottom right side. And this is it. It is the semi-finals, upper bracket, home story cup, a matchup we've been waiting to see. We haven't seen it in a while. CLEM has been grinding 4,000 games a day ever since the patch came out, and even before it was released. SERRAL has been in hibernation ever since the Esports World Cup. He came out recently to China, and we said, oh, it's SERRAL. You know when he comes to a big tournament, he comes prepared. People said, oh, but we haven't seen any games. Is he even practicing? And I was like, it's SERRAL. He always practices for big tournaments and wrecks everybody. And guess what? That didn't happen. He looked a little off in his EVP, a little lacking confidence, and he got smashed. Now, in this tournament, he's looking good in form again. We are seeing SERRAL looking pretty good to get here, but you don't just have to be good to beat CLEM. You need to be incredible, because look at this. He's speed mining with his workers at the start to get just slight boosts on his minerals. You could see these shift-click paths. SERRAL ain't doing that. SERRAL does not bother with that. SERRAL is an old man at this point. He is not down with the CLEM, Max Packs, and Raynor spamming high APM kids that love shift-clicking their workers to get 10, 20 extra minerals in the early game. He's not a fan. These guys, on the other hand, for them, the greatest joy in StarCraft for these Zoomer gamers is spamming buttons. They love the speed. They love the pace. They love the mechanics. And for them, you know, StarCraft is almost like an intense rhythm game, right? It's one of these like super fast mechanical games. I don't know. It's like it's not really like a Guitar Hero or something. It's like Osu maybe combined with like one of these other games. You know, it really is, or one of those like platformers. Isn't there like a platformer with like music playing that like you gotta like jump up and down or whatever? I'm trying to remember how that one goes. Anyways. Point is, CLEM's a freak, he's incredibly fast, and he makes the game looking insanely unfair if SERRAL's not able to trick him in some way. SERRAL has gone for... Was this a 15-15? I was not paying attention to his opening. Queen looks like it's going to pop at the normal time, and this is not a 15-15. I don't think... Oh, actually... Oh, yeah, it might be. She's pretty quick. It's 2 Zerglings and a Queen. Good pull away. CLEM wants that Reddit point Zergling. Not able to get it. Does have to back out. And it's 4 queens into lair. Okay, SERRAL's going old school. Question is, what's he going to do with this 2-base lair build, guys? Because the age of the Roach opening, the 2-base Roach push, I mean, CLEM, I thought, put that to rest at EWC 2024. Where he did beat SERRAL 8-0 in that tournament. But that was off the back of 2-1-1. This is a Starport. This is a Cloaked Banshee, which he's been going back to. So the Roachwarren build might work out. Roachwarren's hidden in the back. Back of the natural, guys. He wants CLEM to think this might be a Mutalisk build. Let's keep that question in the air. But dude, CLEM's Reaper just sees everything, doesn't it? If he chooses to commit, he will see everything going on in this base. And that's the problem. The impossibility of hiding anything from his Reaper, unless you have Ling Speed. Makes this really difficult. Hellions going to dive. Oh, good start here for CLEM. Finds the queens out of position. And the drones, already 3 of those going down, make it 4. The Reaper's going to join in with this as well. But Queen on the high ground does pretty well. 4 drones do go down. Not the end of the world on its own. But remember, SERRAL did not have a 3rd base. He's just started that now. He's also going for Ling Speed. It's a delayed Ling Speed. His Roachwarren is not... It's finished, but it's not building anything. And oh man, this is crazy damage. Oh, SERRAL was trying to be greedy in the early game. And CLEM is out to punish him. No chance for SERRAL to get away with a greedy early game. Not this time. And that is too much damage. That's 8 drones in total for 2 Hellions and a Reaper. There's no 3rd command center. CLEM is doing a 2cc build. And this is something which SERRAL was just not prepared for. CLEM has been spamming this build out. Raynor, Solar have both got really good at defending it. SERRAL was playing on autopilot as if this was a 3 command center, and it was not. Roach Speed and Ling Speed are on the way. SERRAL is going to all in this game, probably off about 50 workers, with a massive Ravagers and Zerglings. I don't see him really doing much else. He's going to go double Evo in the wall to stop the Hellions get in, but I don't think he actually commits to upgrades. I think he's going to go all in. It's only 38 workers for Terran. It's going to be a 2-base bio tank push follow-up. Ooh, I think, okay, in that case, it probably is worth going Carapace. There's an Overseer, but it's on the other side of the map. There's no Overseer at home. It's morphing. Cloak is almost ready. Roaches will hold the door. Queens will go into the natural. That Overseer is still a few seconds away, though. There we go. Morph has finished. Banshee's going to grab at least 4 or 5 workers. It's Queen already on the high ground as well. Oh, almost gets her. She does get back to the safety of the dead space for now. 48 workers for Zerg. No way to secure that right side hatchery. And the Hellions, they've outpositioned these roaches. These drones are exposed. If those Hellions can dart in. One roach goes down. Not able to transfuse in time. Every unit is sacred. Third command center goes down. Clem knows his 3 barracks follow-up was scouted. So he's now said, let's not go all in. Queen kills the Banshee down south. This Banshee's going to be a nuisance, but the Queens do come forwards. Pull back the roach. That's an expensive target. Good spore. 53 workers, tunneling claws, carapace, and range upgrade. SERRAL is under the impression this is a 2-base all-in. But Clem is staying fluid. He's staying loose. He is transitioning. SERRAL still in the worker lead. Despite all of the damage of this game, a total of 12 workers going down. Units lost tab is very even. It's the sort of damage amount that shouldn't be that impactful if you'd done a normal 3-base build. But with the 2-base build, SERRAL's not in that crazy position that he normally would be. Great spore trick to save the drone. Roach speed being done really helps him secure the front of his base. Burrow's now on the way as well. Now Clem's going to go for a marine tank push, but it's kind of a poke. Oh, great contaminate to stop the tank production. Beautiful play there by SERRAL. +1 weapons is going to be finishing about the time 1-1 finishes, but I think SERRAL's just forced to go mass roach here to respond. These roaches, bit of a miss rally. Does get himself a Hellion down on this side. Gonna have to bring his Queens as well. 4 roaches gonna go for a drop counterattack. I think he could just run in the third with those and kill whatever he can get. Overlord getting picked off here as well. More Overlords needed quite desperately for SERRAL. I think Clem realizes pushing in any further would be a bit of a crazy man choice. Where's the tanks? One's just sieging in the open. The other one's just popped out of that contaminated factory. And the roaches are going to go get inside that main base. It's a slow Overlord drop, guys. I think those roaches just running in the third might have been better just to get some high impact damage done as quickly as possible. I guess he's going to split roaches in the natural as well. It's a low economy setup for SERRAL. Long term, this is not good for him, but against a guy who's only gone 1 engineering bay initially, there's no armor upgrades for Terran. Roaches dropping in the main base. Oh, he has no idea about these roaches. But wait, did he just spot it? He might have spotted the path there. Roaches inside the main and the natural at the same time. It's going to be nasty to deal with. Roaches running up the front as well. They are burrowed on the front line. These roaches going to evade the first scan. Already 6 workers going down. These roaches at the front are chilling. He's going to try and get on top. There's no scans available. The roaches are going to try and jump on top of this SERRAL. You sick puppy, SERRAL. He's going to take out all 3 tanks and then just run away. These roaches still there in the natural. The roaches in the main do finally get cleaned up, but multiple scans had to be used. These roaches probably need to unburrow here and get out of there. And he's going to do it. Just burrows. Oh, another scan's available, though. And Bio, Terran with that perfect Clem micro, able to catch most of these roaches. SERRAL does still have a roach in the natural. Turret's up there now as well, though. He got some good damage on the tanks, but he didn't kill as many workers as he would have liked to. Clem with some amazing crisis management so far. I love that SERRAL's playing like a bag of D's. You might be wondering, what are D's? D's roaches! I love that. He just burrows a single roach to force a scan. Problem. 4th base is not mining, guys. It's just come up. No 5th. Limited creep spread. No infestation pit. No follow-up. 7 drones are now building. SERRAL will need gases on this 4th. Infestation. He needs to go infestors, and a broodlord transition would be the best from here. Usually, these days, and against someone as good as Clem, does he believe in the broodlord transition? I don't know. I think you have to do it because it's going to be double tank production. Technically, I know a lot of pros would just go Vipers because it's the more well-rounded unit. It's also a unit that's just not as high impact as you get around a broodlords against a guy who's got double factory tank, and it's game-changing. You turn his own artillery against himself, you know? Good moves with these roaches. You can't see them when they're not moving. SERRAL does leave them there. They do get scanned down. Banshee goes down on the other side of the map. 2 roaches for a scan. I think SERRAL's fine with those trades, man. That's 225 minerals of mining that you're missing out on each one of those. The question is if SERRAL, if he had some fungals, I think he could wreck this push out, but he's only got 3 Ravagers. And that's a problem. He's also got a few roaches burrowed, a few unburrowed. He's going to pop up on the rally, take out a few units here. These 2 roaches will go unburrow in the 3rd base as well, which could be nice. The tanks are getting awfully far forward, though. Roaches running in. 2-2's not quite ready. He needs 10 more seconds. Only +1 done for the Terran. Clem is forcing a fight just before the upgrades are finished. SERRAL, he does not want to give up this 4th base. 2-2 finally kicks in here. But those tanks are adding such firepower from the backline. CLEM, he's stutter stepping really nicely. Only 1 tank has fallen. And the Roach Ravager on its own, not able to deal with this. If he had 5 or 6 Ravagers and a few Infestors and he fought out front, you know, set the fight up really nicely with a good fungal ambush, it's a different story. But similar supply, with the tanks pre-sieged, with half your army going down before your upgrades are finished, that's a good fight for CLEM. He's going to focus the Ravagers down. That should be able to finish off this game pretty well. Single Roach on burrows, kills itself 1 or 2 SCVs. It's not really going to matter. SERRAL's on 3 base up against a 3 base CLEM. I love the style. It's been a while since SERRAL screwed with CLEM with tunneling claws. But hats off to CLEM for having so many scans in the bank and really just handling the pressure very nicely. I do think SERRAL took a bit too much damage early game, which made this whole follow-up so much harder than he would have liked it to be. And you can't be letting those early Hellions in to do so much damage and so much wasting of your time. Roaches try to transition around the top left. Bit of a flank on the army. We'll get rid of one of his tanks, which is nice. But the army on the front is so outnumbered, so outgunned. Trying to heal those Roaches with Burrow. Trying to come in from behind. Scan on the rear. And those tanks will clear those Roaches up before they can get on top. Roach Ravager's getting overwhelmed. And that is going to be CLEM taking a decisive game 1. SERRAL, I do not think he expected that to be the 2-gas early Hellion run by. You have to realize, guys, when he does a 3cc build, these Hellions start a lot later in the game. But look at this. Normally, you're starting your first 2 Hellions at, what, 305, 310? His first 2 Hellions are popping at this time, and that's why they get in here earlier than SERRAL was expecting, while the Reaper's distracting him in the main. And that's just classic CLEM. I've played so many of these gasless, no ling speed builds against CLEM. Like, 2024, start of 2025. It's so hard to not let this Reaper distract you and just keep enough units occupied. And then these first 2 Hellions, even off of 3cc, his Hellions are annoying. But if he does this 2 command center build, damn, these Hellions hit fast. Really nice opening for CLEM. And I think that's just too much damage for SERRAL going into the mid game. All right. Nice game 1 there for CLEM. Deals with a tricky build order for SERRAL. And on to Winter Madness. Bottom right side, SERRAL. I think he wanted to control Ruby Rock a bit better with that 2-base opening and not give the options for the easy run-bys. But he was thinking more about the 3cc game. Ends up in trouble. Goes for an Extractor Trick this time. Will be a more standard 16 hatch opening for SERRAL. Look at this. Bloody shift clicking is the amount of speed mining he does. Like, I see Max Pax and Trigger do it with 1 or 2 workers. There are multiple times you'll see CLEM in the early game with 3 workers with those green lines showing they've been given shift clicks. And like, I can do it with like 1 or 2 occasionally without it really messing with my build. But he even does it on the close patches, and he does it across 4 different patches. He actually did it so well there that he bounced a worker off this close patch. You should only do it on far patches, not the close patches, because the close patches are already mining at like 100% efficiency. So if you shift click, like this doesn't help him. I don't think that patch, the speed mining, helps him, whereas on these ones and this one it does. So I think CLEM is kind of clicking really fast here, but he does have a little de-optimization there. It's the further away patches get the most benefit from it. Just a small optimization you could work on. Hatch gas pool for SERRAL. Haven't seen a lot of players make it to mutas recently against CLEM. We also haven't seen a big focus on the Hydra build. I've been spamming the Hydra build. A lot of people are tank pushing me, and I did lose a few games the other day with it. But I still feel like it's just because I try to go like 85 drone, 8 gas, Hydras, and Infestors before committing to a serious army. And that's just too greedy, obviously. Whereas I think if I just make a lot of Hydras off 70 drones, 72 drones, delay the Infestors a little bit, you know, I'll be able to shut down those early tank pushes. I wonder what it's like at this level, though, when you're playing the best Terran in the world who's just so intimidating. Like, because initially that build gained popularity because Raynor and SERRAL and a few others copied Scarlet's build, and they started beating CLEM with it. And they beat him a bunch of times. And now they don't do it at all, which tells me the last few times they've tried the Hydra build, he has squashed it and made it look kind of bad. Do you think SERRAL not participating in the small tournaments is hurting him? He seems washed. I don't think he's never committed in small tournaments. The question is, how much has he actually practiced and prepared over the last few months? And is the map pool hurting him? Is it he only started practicing a week or two before the Chinese tournament and he just needs more time? What's his practice environment looking like? I don't think losing that 3-0 to Hero matters. I mean, he's beaten Raynor already to get to this match, which is awesome. I think he's still looking very good. He hasn't looked as next level perfect, but it's such a small sample size, and we really don't know because SERRAL, he holds his cards close to his chest. And to me, it feels like maybe he hasn't actually practiced. He took like a bit of a break. I don't know if that's true. Did he take a break for like 4 or 5 months? He might have had an extended off season, but because he never shares these details. Oh, beautiful block there by CLEM. Gets the drone, and he's denied the third base for a full minute. I got to criticize the build choice for SERRAL, guys. Obviously, washed is crazy talk for either of these guys. Yeah. But SERRAL was so used to dominating everybody that him struggling against some players like Hero recently. I think his matches in the group stage of this tournament have been pretty dominant as well. Oh, Creep Shimmers finally go down, but I really think he should have just sent a drone and taken this third earlier. I'm a big believer you should rush the third base on this map if you're going to do a standard play. And this looks like an exceptionally standard play for SERRAL. He's going to be playing as 3cc 2-on-1. So it's just 2 Hellions and a Reaper. This is like the lightest pressure ever for CLEM, and yet he's massively delayed your third and messed your progression. And he's just going to hit you with Stim Marines at about 5.5, maybe 5:45. In terms of game timer, that is. Pig's Terran is washed? Yes, that is true. My Terran is actually very washed. I'm too lazy to really practice build orders these days. Kind of just hop on and do things. I'll give Terran some love one day. Get my build orders down again. All right, SERRAL knows what's happening. So he's going to have Lings ready to counterattack when those Marines come across the map. Oh my gosh, it's a lot of Lings though. I don't think he can trade just yet, can he? He's going to go for a surround. Oh, I mean, if he had 25 Lings and he surrounded those Marines, he wins the game. But he only had like 17. It wasn't enough. Loses 3 or 4 Lings. Maybe he wasn't looking at the previous circling and didn't realize. Overlord's an easy snipe. 2 Hellions and the Reaper will be there to try and defend the Lings. The Lings are just... Oh, they're in vision. They are in vision. The Hellions and the Reapers can hide behind the minerals. Nicely done. Double drop moves across the map. Lair is on the way. +1 melee. That should be a carapace upgrade. SERRAL, has he misclicked that? There's no way you're meant to play melee here, guys. That should be carapace. Ling's going to go for the surround on those Marines. Nice move. Gets himself 3 or 4 Marines here. Really well done. The Hellions and the Reapers will eventually deal with it. Queens. Oh, the Overlord dropping creep. Very necessary. He's got nothing to help defend at home. Hatchery gets cancelled. SERRAL being a little bit too greedy here. The Lings are picking off the Hellions as well. 2 Hellions and a bunch of Marines. Great counterattack. Carapace finally starts here for SERRAL. This double drop is going to, of course, skirt by and just keep SERRAL occupied. SERRAL does not have a 4th base, a 5th base, or a macro hatchery. And that is a disaster. Because you need that production in this matchup. You absolutely need that production. These Queens are off creep, which means no transfuse. CLEM knows he can just target that hatchery. This is a disaster. It's a disaster, mate. Another hatchery cancelled. Devastating damage. SERRAL needs a macro hatch and a 5th base right now. He's trying to play Ling Infester, but he does not have the good start that Raynor's had recently with this. I mean, we've seen Raynor giving CLEM trouble, often falling behind to the first pressure or something. But this does feel like SERRAL is just on the back foot. Maybe, do you guys think he focused on melee first on purpose because he wants more damage output? Because when you play Mass Ling, you do really need damage output. I just think Carapace results in more damage output at a higher rate than melee. Like, and it helps the Queens as well. I don't think there's no good reason. I'm trying to like think of it. If you're playing a low economy Ling Flood style, like a Mio Micah, Vietnamese, ZVT, just mass Ling Floods all the time. And yeah, you can go +1 melee, but it's a massive gamble. Not SERRAL style. And here we go. Beautiful counterattack. Beautiful micro by CLEM, though. Gets to the safety of the SCVs. A bunch of the Marines go down nonetheless. Many SCVs are falling. Tank covering the high ground. The safety tank will keep him alive for now. Beautiful fungal. And he does throw a second and a third. Oh, hot damn. SERRAL's back in it. Gets the siege tank as well. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Doesn't manage to kill this SCV, unfortunately, on the command center. 9 SCVs in total. Not bad. SERRAL's still on the back foot, though. He's down in work as he's trying to drone that 4th. He's got a 5th. Almost done. Macro hatch coming in as well. Still got 9 queens. He's got 5 infest. I love the high infestor count, but it does mean his hive is incredibly late. Actually, whoa, his hive's already done. Never mind. Adrenal gland starts up. Take that one back real quick. That's a well-timed hive, considering you got 5 infestors. But 5 gas is a bit higher on the gas count than you normally see people play this early. Normally, you want to have a 4th base saturated, and oh, the command center barely finishes. Good play there by CLEM. Okay, watch out for these Widow Mines, man. Oh no, the infestors are up front. 2 infestors go down to a Widow Mine shot. He lands a decent fungal, but it's not game-winning. The Medivacs may be damaged. They're not dead. This Queen's trying to fall back. As 2-2 kicks in for Terran in about a minute's time or so, that's going to be really good for CLEM. CLEM has a 4th command and he's still up in workers this whole time. Like I said, you normally want to drone this 4th base fully much earlier. He got his up so late, so he's down in supply. Losing those 2 infestors was really important because the infestors and their ability to recharge fungals over time, I think, was a big part of what made SERRAL's economy somewhat competitive. Oh no. Oh no, he let the lib in! Oh, he starts a Viper. It's the only way to deal with that. Now he loses mining on his 4th. You know, you're meant to have 2 spores on this edge, guys, to stop this. You cannot let the lib here, or there's no way to reach it because there's no space behind the minerals. CLEM has been abusing this like mad. SERRAL clearly knows about it because he started the Viper when he saw that lib cross over. But there is a reason you need to get those 2 up. He focused the infestor. Get out! Get out of here! He should have fungled the Medivacs. Honestly, if his queens moved up and he chain fungled those Medivacs, he could have killed 2-3 full Medivacs. Oh, man, this Liberator is disgusting. Look at this. The Viper's like, okay, finally. Oh, so much mining time, so much distraction. SERRAL's down 30 supply. Mass bio, 14 Widow Mines. 3-3 and Kindness Plating are on the way at a good timing. SERRAL doesn't have the money to build Ultras. And he's down in army supply. He's got an awesome army. It's so streamlined. Oh, man. A Parasitic Bomb on these Medivacs plus a Fungal would be amazing. Things trying to come in. Sergeant Chadhammer's on the high ground defending at the same time. There is an engagement on the front, but a bunch of the infestors got jumped on. SERRAL wasn't looking. A bunch of his infestors got jumped on and sniped there. CLEM clicking with his important thing the way Terran players love to. I'll have to show you that right now in the replay, guys. SERRAL taps out way too far behind from early on here. Look at this. Look at that. He just stims in. He's like, you're not looking, and just clicks down 3 of the 4 infestors before SERRAL realizes what's happened. Oh, I'm using a terrible spot anyway. These Lings weren't going to do enough damage. Chadhammer is up to 30 kills on the high ground, about to be 32. But yeah, this was just too good of an opening once again. Here's my advice for this map, guys. If you're playing people who are blocking you and you're not willing to take the left base, Reyna's answer to this is to just go take the left base. Or he'll send a drone to the left, the SCV goes to block, and then he goes and takes the right base. My answer to this is to go and build that hatchery on like 1920 supply before Overlord. So basically, yeah, like send this drone out now. And you start that at like 2 minutes. So you see this SCV's coming in, and your drone's already there, and then you skip the queen in the main. And you only have 2 workers on gas, or even 1. So you delay your Ling speed, and you basically delay that queen. That's 175 minerals, which means you've got 275. You build the hatchery on 2 minutes. This is something which Shin specifically will do against the very top Terrans like CLEM, who are really good at their micro on maps where you have 1/3 base you really want to take, and the other third base sucks and you don't want to do it. And if you do that, you avoid the block, you avoid losing the drone, and all of this, because this early game matters, man. It matters a lot. This SCV blocking him, and then so he does this really conservative opening. He finally moves over with the queen to try and get to the base, and he sends the drone over, and you think, okay, we're all good. This drone was hiding, and the SCV blocks it. He gets the drone kill, and this base is denied until 3.5 minutes. Don't get me wrong, he kept droning, he spent his money, he kept injecting, he does eventually put his creep tumors down, but he both doesn't have early creep spread, his third hatch is delayed, which removes his production, and we could see the flow-on effect of this, where he wasn't able to defend his fourth base, and the moment his fourth base got sniped, with the build order he was doing, a Massling Infesta build, you are so screwed. The fact that he made it to 20 minutes in this game is actually wild. Hats off to SERRAL for doing that. But you cannot be losing your fourth base with a Massling build. GG, well played to CLEM, takes a 2-0 lead. All right, guys, CLEM in the top right. He's going to go for a Barracks gas build. SERRAL in the bottom left is going for a pretty standard hatchery first. It's Tourmaline, a map which always looks kind of decent for ZVT until the Terran multitasks and you realize how spread out these bases are and how terrible this base is in the middle with this ledge in front of it. It's very possible to win this map as Zerg. But when you're playing against a guy like CLEM, I'd always feel like he's so good at utilizing the angles and shoving in with the multitasking and getting on in there. So you can see here, he does focus mainly on speed mining with these two in the middle, which are the ones you get the most value on, because those patches are quite far away, right? I do love how astute he is at doing that. Of course, once he starts building command centers and things, doesn't do as much of the speed mining. SCV is going to come out. On this map, if he blocks this space, you probably just take the left, right? The left does seem worse on this map, though. I know Reyna just takes the middle if you block the right side base. Either way, it doesn't seem as bad as Winter Madness. Reaper's coming out. Looks like a 3cc build to me. Normally would have taken that second gas right now if it wasn't. Alright, 3 command center build for Mr. CLEM. Reactor should go down, and then he focuses on the Reaper micro. Oh, he gets the Zergling. Nicely done. CLEM's a monster. Alright, Queen pushes him back. Double inject. Third Queen in the main, so we can bring these 2 Queens to the front. He's going to send 1 Queen out to the natural, to the third. Escort that drone. Drone, of course, needs to stay near the extractor to protect itself. Don't get stuck going to the other extractor. You got to go to this one. Drone's going to start damaging it. Reaper went to the wrong side, which means this base will get down unless you build an eBay. Hey, all right. SERRAL gets the hatchery down this time around. About 30 seconds quicker than the last one. Reaper's going to circle into that main base. And the new Queen's out there, ready to defend. Creep Tumor will go down. Link speed's almost finished. Pretty damn fast Ling speed. SERRAL's been playing very conservative with that Ling speed. I think this might be a misplay. Because it's just 3cc 2-on-1. It's only 2 Hellions. You don't need Ling speed against this. I think he's a bit traumatized from what happened on Ruby Rock at the start of this series. Ooh, okay, he's going to overbuild Zerglings. Okay, so he's going to actually do a run by. Not a bad move. It will be a 4 Hellion opening. And then he's going to swap that reactor around with the barracks. Starport has already begun here. Factory builds the reactor for the starport. Triple Marine production starts. SERRAL here with 5 Queens now, 3 at the front. Creep really is very slow, isn't it? The creep spread. These modern builds. Should pull back on the drones. Just gonna wait for those Queens to get him over there. Hellions split. CLEM's so smooth with splitting his units up, isn't he? His Queens should be a bit further forward, so we can't scout so much with these guys. Lings also could surround those Hellions. 2 Lings run in, sees a bunch of Marines. Alright, so SERRAL knows what he's up against. We're up against a 2-on-1. this Overlord and this Overlord will need to pull back in about 30 to 45 seconds because you don't want to give him free Overlord snipes when he arrives. Ooh, early tech lab for that. That's interesting. Where's the third barracks for Clem? Is he going to go double eBay before third barracks? He is, okay. Yeah, does make sense. It does make sense. Just often you do want to use this reactor for a third barracks, so he'll swap this over and build a new reactor with the starport. It's too early to go into non-stop medevac production. You want to use your gas for your upgrades and get the marine count higher before you need more than those first 2 medevacs. It was hard to hear the commentators on some of the matches live at this event because all you could hear was the audience cheering Gabe, Gabe, Gabe whenever he played. Really? If your name's Zero Marine and you drink some shots with the audience right before your match, I think they get excited, eh? Double Evo Hydroden. Ooh, Serral's going to try and play Hydras. Okay, cute. Hellions are there. It's building 26 Zerglings, 9 Queens. Queens get a few hits on the medevacs, nothing too crazy. This hatchery's dead. I would have liked to see a bit of an abundance of Zerglings here to help defend. Oh, where are his Lings, man? Serral. 1 Queen already goes down. Stims are getting baited at least. Alright, Lings and Queens are going to take out a few Marines. Oh, not bad. Not bad engagement here for Serral. Clem's diving Hellion Reaper on the other side. The Lings are surrounding that as well. 1 medevac goes down. Nice trade there for Serral. Really good shutdown. Only 4 workers. That's gonna favor him. Problem is he's let Clem unload. You do not want to let Clem unload and just come back in again. Especially not if he targets the hatchery, which he's known to do. Doesn't feel he can get it though with just 6 Marines. Lings are ready for a counterattack. We do have up to 5 barracks. Tanks producing as well. Clem seems to sense it's a Hydra build. He's going to go for the early tank push. Do you think he puts him on this ledge up here? Or does he just kind of probably goes along this left side? Massling counter though. A couple of SCVs. A building depot goes down. Second factory gets cancelled. Excellent play there by Serral. He's got to buy time to get into these 1-1 Hydras. Dude, his carapace is so late. I really think the early carapace on the Hydras makes a big difference. They're often fighting with Queens and some Zerglings helping to tank for them. Oh, Serral's going Baneling Nest. This is the modern Korean Hydra build, guys. It's 6 gas Hydra Bane. I hate this build. The Baneling transition doesn't help you at all get through this mid stage of the game. It's only good for late game. The Baneling transition sucks. The last person I expected to do Solar and Rogue's Korean Hydra Bane transition off this opening was Serral. I think it's really bad for this scary moment in the mid-game. It's very good if you can just blitz through the mid-game off of an advantaged opening, because then you get Hydra Bane tech really fast, and it's hard for Terran to get a 4th. And it looks like Clem's not going to commit too hard, so you know what? It's okay. He'll get away with it. He's still got to drone a bit harder, though. Only 72 workers. I really thought Serral would stick to the Hydra and Fester. He's got 700 gas. This is what I hate about this build. I think you got to stay 4 or 5 gases if you're going to do Hydraling Bane here. Because he goes 6 gas because he wants to go for a mass of Hydras, but now you've got so much gas in the bank and you've got no way of using it. And that always feels a bit uncomfortable. Melee Carapace does start. It's at least not focusing on the gas on the 4th. Tries to get the sensor tower, but Clem defends it. Serral needs to basically just make nothing but Ling Bane. Interestingly, it's no tank production. It's all Widow Mines now. It's just Sergeant Chadhammer, which is even coming... She's even coming out of the high ground. Woo! Thank you, Blokey King! I'm going to give you a proper thanks after this game. I'm going to cast this game first, though, because Clem has Serral on the ropes. If he could get a 3-0 against Serral, that would be wild. Oh, big Ling Bane counter gets spotted. Oh, bad for Serral. Yeah, he's just going to have to pull that back now. Can't be going in when it's being spotted like that. I'd love to see the army split. I think right now Serral needs to split his army half and half. 25 Hydras just get stuck behind each other in a battle. I think he should have 10 to 12 on each side. He's going to try and go north, but there's no Banes on this side as well. This is a weird army split for Serral. He does jump on top of that southern army, but that Widowmine killed 14 units. The Widowmines could do some big boom booms. He does take out the siege tank. Middle hatchery maybe going down here. Clem's gonna click it. He gets the kill. Greedy boy Clem. And his greed pays off. SERRAL should have cancelled that. Hive's now started, as has a lurker den. Talked a bit about how Clem's often not ready for lurkers spread out hitting multiple bases at once. But I don't think he's going to find that timing because we've already got Fusion Core in a second starport. Clem is already going range libs, knowing it counters Hydras and lurkers both very well. He knows that SERRAL isn't going to want to be able to squeeze. He's not going to have the money to squeeze a Spire out. Ooh. A little bit of maybe negative micro there for SERRAL. That's rare. Another Widow Mine there. Oh. Doesn't manage to counter micro any of those. That's going to be frustrating. Hydraling Bane comes forward. He's got to defend this middle base. The Widow Mines are smearing handfuls of Zerglings. Also bits of friendly fire as well. I think the Hydras could stand and fight this. I do think he can win this fight. There's so many Widow Mines. What in the hell, man? With no fungals to catch this army as well. The fact that he's got 1,300 minerals and no fungals with a Hydra-based army, to me, seems like such a missed opportunity. Especially if they go into Widow Mines off tanks early. I get the Ling Bane style is more for a Terran who's stuck on tanks, but Clem, he's played against Solar doing this so much recently. He knew that the transition was coming into Banes, and he just swapped into Widow Mines. I mean, not to mention it's Clem. He normally does that pretty much anyway, so SERRAL caught a bit flat-footed in this game, taking big damage. He does finally clean up the drop in his main base, but he's got to get more than this. He's got to get control of his side of the map. Such a claustrophobic map, Tourmaline. And one which he's really struggling as that lib range transition comes in. Doesn't really need lib attack upgrades against Hydras. Armor upgrades to make them a bit tankier is fine. Hydraling Bane rolling. Oh, okay. Does drag a few Widow Mines. He's going to have to fight into the lib zones, and that feels really bad. If he wants to keep this hatchery alive, though, he's got to go. Ling's going to go on the right side. He's going to try and roll forward. Oh, man. The bio is so good, though. Okay, Abduct's coming in. Abducts on the libs, really nice. He will abduct a few of these Liberators. One of them does survive. Lurkers are able to get position now. And actually, Clem, the crazy man, just rolls forward and kills one anyway. Lings in the third do get cleaned up. No SCV kills there. Clem's handling things very nicely. He's got more command centers coming in. And that lib count is so scary. SERRAL has to give up this base. Gonna go for a single abduct there. Parasitic bombs. Oh, big lurker shots. Move this lurker forward on the right. That would be nice. Liberator's going to fall back here, and Clem's actually going to let him hold that base for now. But, oh, he can lib siege him from the cliff. Oh, that's ridiculous. He doesn't have vision at least, so he can't kill unless he moves a medevac or scans. Doesn't end up just scanning for a couple of drone kills. Vipers are going to come forward for the abducts, but the libs pull away before they get in range. Another mass Ling counter onto the third, spreading these units out wherever he can. And should find some decent damage. The Vipers, though, oh no! He ran into the middle of the map, loses 2 Vipers. That's a disaster. He still doesn't have Corruptors. Remember, Viper Hydra is a stopgap against the libs. It is not the long-term answer, and yet SERRAL's doubling down and rebuilding Vipers. He's got to build a Spire and Corruptors, or he's not going to be able to compete with this long-term. Because once there's 12, 13 libs out, you're going to be able to abduct 5 or 6 of them if you're lucky, and the rest are going to obliterate your Hydras. You're not going to be able to kill them in time. Hydras are just not supply efficient enough at dealing with libs, whereas Corruptors, same supply, more than double the hit points, 2 extra armor points. They're just a much better unit. Command Center will get cancelled. Nice move. Widow Mine's friendly firing some of the Zergling, the workers. Oh, Blinding Cloud tries to save the hatchery. It's not quite able, and no abducts to catch these medevacs. Clem gets out. Snipes the base of SERRAL. SERRAL's Ling Run by is finally finding that damage he's been looking for, though. 16 workers. Unfortunately, no burrow here to force some scans out. SERRAL's going to try and do some lurker harassment. He should click the turret first, I believe. Trying to catch this army. He hasn't made the lunge upgrade, despite being at Hive Tech for a while. Just shows how busy he is in this game. He's on, of course, 2-2 with this range. And libs are going to come in, quickly sieging all over him. One lurker goes down, the other ones will pull back. Oh, the lurkers get stuck there. And the Hydras can't fight that. This is what I'm talking about. You got Corruptors, they can deal with this. Unless his Vipers are there, you are in trouble. He's abducting medevacs from the corner of the map. Gets a few of them, doesn't find one of the full medevacs, or the other one with some units still inside as well. He's going to have to pull back, is SERRAL. He's still got the center base. He's rebuilding on the left. Bottom right's up, but not mining right now. And look at the lib count. That's what I'm talking about. You've got to have the Spire by this stage of the game, but SERRAL's been on the back foot pretty much constantly in this series. He does get the full medevac, and it looks like he will manage to kill the other medevac. Somehow, the medevac with 3 Marines survives. God knows how. Hatchery in the middle is going to go down. SERRAL's just so on the back foot, man. He's finally making lunge, +3 carapace and +2 melee. CLEM, of course, doesn't forget about his drop. He says, get in there and distract the enemy. No, we F2'd it, didn't he? Might have just F2'd that. Spire's coming in, trying to get those flyer attack upgrades. But it's a bit too little too late. He needed these Corruptors much earlier. I had this argument a few years ago with a bunch of the top pros. They said Hydras are better, aren't they? Because Hydras can, like, stop ghosts from sniping and stuff, so they're a better late game unit. And I explained to them that they're more multi-purpose, but they are nowhere near as good. Ducks coming in, couple libs going down. Problem is Hydras are too fragile, and they get wrecked by Liberators so hard. They can also get one-shotted by Snipe as well. When you're battling against your maxed-out army supply cap, it's vital you have Corruptors against this sort of 2-starport lib transition. Let's quickly abandon shop. Abandon shop? It's like abandoning ship when you own a shop, and you're just like, I'm sick of it. I'm done working for today. You just close up halfway through the workday, man. I do like that he's trying to split lurkers up, but it's pretty late in the game. There's already mass scans. Hydras. So many Hydras. Might be good for SERRAL to split his army in half. Ooh, I do like the lurker harassment. Very nice. Saves that guy. He's killing some dudes. Abducts a few ghosts and marauders in. Gets a medevac. Dude, he needs to clear these Widow Mines in the middle, though. Get some creep respread. He just has no map control right now, SERRAL. Lib's finally coming up, clearing that lurker there. It's when you don't have map control like this, it's so hard. Everywhere he goes, Widow Mines, Widow Mines, Widow Mines, right? His units are dying as they're rallying. He doesn't have control of his side of the map properly. He's trying to keep his opponent pinned back. I do like that he split his army half and half here. Why'd he make flyer attack but no Corruptors just yet? I think he's just so busy. I think he's so busy. He knows he needs to get Corruptors eventually, but he's trying to just make sure he has a forward position and doesn't have to ever fight the libs. But that's a bit of a pipe dream, as you see. Eventually those libs are going to come, and they will make you fight here. 12 drones go down. He didn't pull from the middle. That's awkward. That's really awkward. I mean, parasitic bombs the play here. He's got to get some parasitic bombs on these clump libs now. Abducts are no longer going to cut it. He's thinking of going for a counter. He's just going to send Lings in, though. Wouldn't have minded the Hydra Bane going in from that angle as well. SERRAL wisely giving ground, giving up bases. That's the right thing to do here. Burrows on the way. Flyer armor's on the way as well. I mean, SERRAL's so under the gun, under pressure in this game. Only 2 drones going down. Could have been much worse. These 2 Widow Mines still in the middle of the map. SERRAL at least has a few lurkers. They're giving him vision. But oh god, if CLEM finds this army, it's cornered. He's got to loop around. If he can loop around from the right and sandwich it, maybe. A couple of the ducks coming in. Okay, the Hydra's starting to kill these. He's coming in from 3 sides. Beautiful angling for SERRAL. The libs getting wrecked. Running into 4 full energy Vipers and a 270-degree surround of Hydra Bane. Amazing engagement there for the Finnish player. Remember, he's only on 65 workers. CLEM's bank may be very low. This is a massive fight, but is it enough to win? He can't even remax right now. CLEM, give him a minute. He will remax. He's just got to drop a few more mules and survive. That's why SERRAL wants to push right now. He feels he's got the advantage, and he is correct in that regard. Oh, the Widowbite takes out 6 Banes. That's nasty for SERRAL. SERRAL, he's trying to rally Lings, but he just doesn't see a way in, and he's correct. There is no way in. He needs an Overseer to clear these Widow Mines, by the way. Most of these dots are changelings. Lurker over here is on hold fire. Turns that off. Must have been a button mishit, I believe. Hotkey misclick. A couple of repairing SCVs will go down. Not bad, not bad. Gets the turret as well. Could go up behind the mineral line again, but easily dealt with by libs. Ultra Cavern's on the way. Not the worst, not the best. Lurker's going to harass from that side. Not bad. I think he should run it now. Probably doesn't react in time, though. CLEM's got it. Where are CLEM scans? I guess he doesn't need the scan, does he? Because it was in turret range. Ooh, nice little Marine drop down south. Love Clem's activity rate, right? He never accepts being fully defensive. And Clem's on 5 orbitals. Oh, he's only on 5? I thought he'd be at 7 by now. How many command centers has he lost? None. He cancelled 1 or 2 on this base earlier. That's only 5 orbitals. Clem not as rich as I was maybe giving him credit. SERRAL is broke, though. Ducks on the libs are really nice here, man. There's still 2 libs there that are sieged. He does have more, but he's got to pull his drones away. That drop in the bottom right will be defended by Queens. Lurkers up here harassing. There's just so many of these libs. And he doesn't have the money to build Corruptors, man. Doesn't have the money for it. I mean, at this point, he's just too broke. I actually understand why he doesn't build it now. He had to build the Corruptors earlier in the game, but SERRAL fighting from behind pretty much this whole series, man. I think it's just, you can see a different in the level of the openings. And people are, oh, is SERRAL bad now? And it's like, well, his openings aren't going well for him. Now, is that because he's rusty? Is that because he hasn't practiced against a level of opposition as good as Clem? Has it worked against everyone but not Clem? I don't know. I don't know. You'd need to speak to him. Has he just not practiced enough, long enough yet? I don't know. But his openings have put him in bad positions every game. His mid to late game, you might be like, well, why isn't he building Corruptors? This isn't the SERRAL we know and love. The SERRAL we know and love is not used to being this far behind 3 games in a row against Clem. Even when he gets a good opening and is ahead, sometimes he loses because Clem's so good at making comebacks, you know? So this is a nasty situation to find yourself in. There are 2 Widow Mines in the middle. SERRAL, he's struggling on the mining front. Clem securing this base on the right is huge. Really big for him. These guys are just going to hide.
Your forces are under
I'm just going to assume he ran away. He's like, where's your army, bro? SERRAL's like, I'm hiding. Quick, unburrow. These guys, it's pure Marine army there. SERRAL doesn't know they're there, though. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, my God. He tries to click the hatchery. I think Clem kind of wants to trade. He feels like he's got too many Marines. Wants to replace them with, like, libs and ghosts. Doesn't want to just throw the units away, though. Oh, and every time, SERRAL of Darks, the medevacs that don't have anything inside them. Fine. Okay, he does finally now get them, but I'm just like, how are they the last of Ducks every single time? You'd think just by luck, you'd happen to get the right ones more often. It's not like you're going to know who's in which medevac, right? Hard to keep track of that. SERRAL's still hanging in here, but he's on 54 drones. He's got a big army, but he's going to need to find efficiency with that army. And his efficiency has been really good, admittedly. How many Vipers? He's still got 4 Vipers and an Infestor. I really feel like the way he wins this game is he needs parasitic bombs in the middle of the libs. Like, just as Clem Siege is up, like in a situation like this, or Fungal Parabomb, and then once again hit him from 2 sides with this giant Zerg army. That's all SERRAL can do, because income-wise, Clem's getting out of control. Clem has 5 orbitals with more planetaries going up. He's got a crazy amount of mineral income capability when he drops mules. This army's really hard to deal with. Oh! The EMP lands! SERRAL fighting into the lib zones. Most of his Vipers do get taken down by the EMP. The Hydras are getting thinned out. He does come in from behind, though. But these units came in from behind a little bit too late. Those Hydras need to deal with those libs, man. SERRAL losing a lot of units here. He's trying to catch the ghosts. But that means these libs might have a chance to escape. Clem's going to unsiege and run for it. These Hydras and Infestors tried to pull back. They're going to try to run forward. Fungal? Might be worth fungling those guys. As it is, top left side of the map, SERRAL needs a new hatchery, but he can't secure it. That's another kill. Not a cancel. And the libs aren't even going home. Clem's already remaxed. And that was way too good of a fight there. The way Clem kind of sieged up, pinned him defensively, and SERRAL's flank came in a little bit too late. Wasn't early enough. SERRAL's now trying to re-drone, but you can see he's gone from even, 35 versus 35,000 lost aside, to now 38 to 40. Widowmine takes out another Hydra. The libs continuing to abuse this middle area. There are 4 Vipers, guys, but he has not had the time to go and consume more energy, SERRAL. He's focused on trying to engage Clem on the map. That means these Vipers don't have the power that they had previously. Ling's in the top left. Marauders are there waiting to snipe that hatchery again. SERRAL, he's got a few minerals here, a few minerals here, a few minerals there. Clem, meanwhile, is looking for a freshie. If he gets a fresh base in the bottom right side, his income is just going to be secured for the rest of this game, and he's got it. He doesn't even need to deny this top left, and yet he does it again. Another kill. No cancel. SERRAL fighting with Zerglings in the bottom right. The Marines win that fight also. SERRAL is not happy with how this game is going, mate. In any other game, this trading is god tier, guys. In any other game of ZVT, 25 minutes in, god tier trading. In this game, it's terrible because Serral's been down on economy the whole game. And he's just going to tap out. He's just going to throw in the towel. He's just, I mean, there's just, like, what can he do at that stage? His Vipers have no energy. I get why he GG's, guys. Like, what's he going to do? He's just slowly getting cornered, and a couple of snipes landed. He just lost 3 out of his 4 Vipers to snipes. He abducted a few libs. There's so many more libs in Ghosts and Mines. Clem had Widow Mines all over the map. I've told you guys this map is a nightmare to defend because you've got this disgusting push path through the middle. You've got this ledge, which normally tanks abuse. Libs abused it. You've got this base is way out here. This base is way down here. And Clem's constantly coming in from these different angles. So you're so close, right? Your middle base to his middle base is right next to each other. So he can push you at any moment, which is what you want as a Terran, you hate as a Zerg. And you've got this incredibly wide front, which Zerg enjoys when they're able to attack. But if you're under the thumb of a guy like Clem who's in control of the matchup, damn, dude. It is just next level ZVT for Clem. Beautiful play by him, guys. And at the end of the day, he does take down Serral. Maybe if Serral added some Corruptors a bit earlier, he could have done some stuff. And the reason for that is Clem played a really interesting style this game. Remember, he went range libs at like 10, 12 minutes before going mass air. So he went very early into lib range and second starport. Like super hard. Specifically, he went, what, 4 bases and then 2 more command centers. So he went 6 command centers and then straight into range lib. That's a really early commitment. If Serral got wind of this earlier, went into his own Corruptors, I think this would be a very different situation. Because this was probably the most competitive of the early games. But even this game, he couldn't defend his 4th base against the initial 2-1-1, trying to go the Hydras. And that just makes your whole life so much harder, right? Like, we just, essentially, if you look at this series on a basic level, Clem's always hard to beat. If he cancels your 4th or blocks your 3rd pretty much every game of the series, and it's just snowballing, the 2 Hellions get in at the very start. This was a series that very rarely, like Serral series, are normally not decided by this. But they really were. Decided by just really tight, good early game build orders for Clem. I do think Serral maybe was rushing Ling Speed in a bit of fear when he could have been a bit greedier. Game 1, he played greedy on the Ling Speed, got punished for it, and I think he played a bit overly safe after that game. Either way, hats off to Clem. This is a powerful 3-0 and a really well-deserved victory for the guy who has never stopped grinding. Hopefully we can see Serral recover, go back to the drawing board, get some better openings, because I feel like if he was able to have a lot of the games that Rain has had against Clem, like if you take over, Serral takes over from Rainer at 6-minute mark, like Rain is in a way better position at the 6 or 7 minute mark in a lot of their recent games than Serral was today. So I think Serral, if he could fix that early game, his mid and late game is going to feel a lot more powerful, but playing from where he was an uphill battle. And that's why this kind of felt almost helpless at a few moments. I don't know how he made Winter Madness last 20 minutes. He should have been dead in 12 or 15, but GG, well played. Serral puts up a good fight, but Clem is just too good today. GG, well played. Well, I hope you enjoyed that series. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to check out our Patreon if you want to go above and beyond to support the channel. Links down below in the description, as well as over here. I forget that we've reversed the camera on this so that I can do this. Woo, click the button. Massive thanks to everyone who's already here on the wall, but a special thanks to Ninja's Monkey on the Leviathan tier, Peden N, Dragothar, Ivy, and Oko H, our conductors of the D-Town Express as well. Thank you for the love, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and good night.